for coming. And our host, Draker, and Chach Curtis. What's your title?
CEO.
CEO, and Mark Sherman?
Heading up marketing.
Wow. Well, first of all, just memory lane. When I got elected to Congress, about a month after, my first visit was here to Draker. And you were an idea, but not a reality. And I understand since then, you have worked hard and had a profitable quarter. So you're the example of a startup company that looks like it's on the road to success. And I guess your head count here for jobs has gone from 11 to 18 recently. And that's tremendous. What I'm doing in my time home this summer is touring Vermont businesses that are showing the way of creating jobs if we take on the challenge of having alternative energy in our future. If energy efficiency and alternative energy is something that our environment needs, but it's something that is going to be really beneficial to our economy. You know, there's a debate in Congress among some of my colleagues as to whether global warming is real or not. Now, I happen to believe the science of global warming, and I think it's a real threat to our planet. But you don't need to win that argument in order to see the benefit of moving ahead towards engaging in the effort to have energy efficiency and alternative energy technologies. And you know, the last 81 days, the mind of this country, the attention of this country has been focused on the Gulf, where we've had this catastrophic spill. And in that 81 days, as we've spent billions trying to cap the well, to clean up, and even to pay compensation for some of the victims, and we're going to spend billions more. While we've been doing that, China has been moving ahead, investing billions of dollars in alternative energy technologies. And my strong belief is that we cannot lose the job-creating opportunities of taking on the challenge of a clean energy economy to the Chinese. Because if at the end of the day, we don't import oil from Saudi Arabia and Venezuela and other countries that aren't really our friends, but the jobs mean, but we start importing solar panels and wind turbines from China, then we've lost the jobs. So the biggest challenge that America faces is getting people back to work. And the way we get ourselves back to work is by taking on the challenge of our times, which is to move beyond petroleum from a fossil fuel-based energy policy to a clean energy-based policy. And we have firms in Vermont that are leading the way. And it's small things to big things. This morning I was up in Richford at K-Tech, where they manufacture aluminum siding that's insulated and saves homeowners money for as long as the homeowner owns that home. Today we're here at Daytech, which is a leader in measuring devices for solar installations. And this is essential, and you'll be able to speak about this, but we've got jobs here where we're getting the best engineering, the best talent to help investors who want to have renewable energy through solar applications. So this is our future. In Congress, I'm supporting 3 specific pieces of legislation that will be very essential to helping us move in the right direction. And those 3 things are, first, Homestar. Homestar is a partnership between the federal government and homeowners. If a homeowner puts up to $3,000, they'll get up to $3,000 assistance from the government, and that will be for the purpose of making their homes more energy efficient. And it means that there's no bureaucracy. The homeowner's got some skin in the game, so they've got to invest their own money, and they're going to want to make sure they get value for that dollar. It's going to result in 170,000 jobs for local contractors around the country, folks who are out of work because we're not building homes, and it's not likely that we're going to have a return to the housing boom, but we are going to have a lot of homeowners who want to retrofit their homes. It will save $10 billion in energy bills for homeowners over the next 10 years, and it will, all of that, those things that go into home insulation, doors, windows, insulation, 95% of that is manufactured in America. So even without a Buy America provision, we create jobs. 170,000 jobs in manufacturing and in contracting. And that will also have the added benefit of lowering our carbon footprint. The second bill is to end tax subsidies for big oil. You know, the oil companies in 2009 made $67 billion in profit, paid $37 billion in dividends to their shareholders, bought back $20 billion worth of stock. On top of that, they received billions of dollars in subsidies from the American taxpayer. And the question I think Congress has to ask on behalf of the taxpayer is this: does it make sense to steer taxpayer money to a mature and profitable industry, or should we redirect those subsidies towards alternative energy, renewable energy, and efficiency? My strong view, we should redirect those subsidies to this emerging industry that can help us stand up the economy and get people back to work. And the third piece of legislation is the Renewable Energy Expansion Act. What this would do is extend the tax subsidies for alternative energy, wind and solar. Those were incorporated as part of the American Recovery Act, but they expire at the end of this year. And we need to sustain those. We need to sustain those so that companies like Draker and K-Tech, who are doing good work, creating good jobs, and building up an economical and viable industry, alternative energy and efficiency, that those industries can get on their feet and be sustainable and self-sustaining. I believe that can happen, and we've got examples of companies right here in Vermont that are showing it can happen. And when I'm in Washington, what I try to do, and I find this to be the most effective, is not argue with people about their point of view, but to give them a real-world example of a company back in Vermont that is succeeding. And Draker is an example of a company that is succeeding by taking on the challenge of changing from the fossil fuel-based economy to alternative energy and clean energy. So those are the three pieces of legislation I'm working on. Homestar for efficiency, ending the tax subsidies for big oil. It's a mature industry that doesn't need taxpayer help. And then third, steering those tax subsidies to the emerging industries in alternative energy like wind and solar. I'm joined today by two of the new arrivals at Draker, Mr. Sherman.
Yes, Mark Sherman.
Mark Sherman, and Mr. Curtis, Chach Curtis. Right. And I don't know if you have anything that you want to add, but this is a great story, and I understand you're thinking of this space is getting a little small for you. And yeah. So that's good news. These are jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're a perfect example, as Congressman said, of how the transition from fossil fuel to renewable-based economy can help Vermont. We have the U.S. solar industry is going to double this year in capacity. We're expecting to quadruple in revenue growth this year from where we were last year. We started the year at 11 employees. We're up to 18 now. We'll probably double in size in terms of number of employees to 22 by the end of the year. We're going to have to move to a new space, as you just said. And these are good paying jobs. This is highly trained technical people, engineers, type of jobs that support families in the greater Burlington area. So we're looking forward to continue that growth this year and well beyond. We're in a growth market. We have a lot of room to run. I hope that number is well over 100 the next time you come here.
Wow, that'd be great. Mark, anything to add?
Yeah, I would just add that so the renewable energy is not only good for the environment, it's good for the economy. And I think that this is one of the manifestations of that. I mean, we're helping companies take advantage of these incentives that you were talking about. That's really the business that we're in. And so not only are we producing good jobs, but we're moving the economy forward as well as the environment. So that's a win-win.
Great.